So today I would like to mention why softening your ego is so important for creating whatever you desire, for getting your dreams becoming something real. Because last time when I spoke about the way how to step into the observer, I was also mentioning the conscious part of ego. But imagine it like ego is mainly separated from unity, from like the wholeness. So the basic characteristics of every ego are he is or it is afraid of any new situation. It doesn't want risks. It doesn't want to be discovered. And yes, I also mentioned that it's important to have it, to have some identity and to be able to function with the name and some ID of yours. But at the same time, if you want to manifest something new, stepping out is very, very important. So imagine the ego. It always feels like the world and the people outside are threat. And also, if the world would be a big window, imagine it like it's very, very dirty. And you can actually look outside only from a very small circle that you made with your finger. And that's what's your ego allowing you to see. The other possibilities are not seen because the ego operates from very, very small perspective. And this perspective is also strongly protecting. It protects it because otherwise he may disappear. And it's very scary for him. So every situation, every person is really dangerous to it. And then also, if you will be more often stepping into the observer, the intuition will not get stronger. You will just hear it more easily. Your dreams that you from your ego consider like impossible ones, now they will get closer and you will see all the steps and the ways how to get there. It will become more realistic or more believable to you, and that way more reachable for you. So I also mentioned some things that you can do to step into the observer. And I was mentioning this silence game, but it's working great. If you are introverted, easier for you probably it will be, because to be silent is something maybe more natural, that comes easy. And really imagine it like that you will consciously decide that some days you will simply talk less or not talk at all if it's possible. Because that way you are giving yourself a space to watch what's happening with ego. What is it thinking? How is it reacting? For me, the walking in the nature or in the forest also helps a lot, because when you are in the nature, you kind of like breathe in this peace, this calmness of the nature around you. And it's the same thing with being alone. Back in like 15 years ago, I was very desperate, very lost. I had a lot of debts. I didn't have a home. I didn't have a family. I was quite lost. But when I was alone, I started noticing that I'm feeling very, very good, that my mind is calm, that I don't pick up all these emotions and feelings of other people. So I noticed that my natural state is peaceful and quite, I'm quite happy to stay with myself. So for some people, to being alone might help to find the clarity, to find how do I really feel if I don't have to listen, who am I, or how should I react on things, because they know me, so I have to do that. It really helps. But I will mention a couple steps that are very, very helpful to softening the ego. There are some characteristics that you think of you. So write down 10 things that you consider that you are that. Like, for example, I'm very skillful, or I'm talkative, or I'm not talkative, or I love nature, or I love animals, or I'm a good cooker. Whatever you think of you, just write it down. And then, for softening your ego, look at the opposite things and consider that you are as well the other things, because all your shadows and all your unconscious parts are able to do the opposites. It depends on the conditions where you are and when whatever you think of you manifests. Second thing, you probably have 5, 10, probably 10 stories that you keep on repeating. You may use these stories to tell it to the people that you like, or to friends, and you might tell them to yourself if you are not that extroverted. But you tell the stories like, this happened when I was 5, this happened when I was 10, this happened when I was 15, and that's my story. So if you write these 10 stories, you will see how you are grabbing on them, how important they are to you. So try to choose 2, maybe 4 of them, and just let them go. Let them go, because the ego that you have today, the identification about yourself that you live today, is based on past experiences. And if you want to create in the future something different, then you may change the past. Because also, as I mentioned very often, the time-space reality is based on this earth, but it's a concept. That means that you may change past in order to change today, in order to change the future. It's possible. And you can do it by letting stories that don't serve you anymore, letting them, just passing them in a river, and not saying them anymore, and not considering yourself being grabbed on this definition. And then another last thing, write down what you want to be, how you want to be. Because if you write down, for example, 3 things, like, for example, I want to have more discipline, or I want to speak better English, or I want to exercise more, or I want to be more open with strangers so I can have more friends, for example. If you write 3 things that you want to be, you can look at your ego, at your mind, at your thoughts. What does it think about it? Because there is a big probability, like almost 100%, that the ego will say, oh, no, you cannot. This is not you. You are not like that. And it's great to know that whatever you are hoping to develop in, most likely your ego will say that it's a problem. And this way you can detect, like, oh, I found you. It's you. Hello. You are my ego telling me that I cannot do it. But you are saying that because you are afraid of changes. Oh, yeah, I understand. Detecting your ego, understanding that it mainly talks with you in your mind, and that it uses the inner critique in very often in a harsh way, helps you to distinguish, this is me, like whole me, and this is the part that I want to have because I'm not enlightened yet. But I want it to be a tool, not an enemy, not a boss that is driving my life. And if you do these 3 steps, you will get way closer in softening the ego and starting to create whatever you wish in a powerful way from your whole system. Thank you.